Hey guys, it's Abby and welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a chill journal with me video and keep watching to see what I will be journaling about. First off, let's have coffee, and yes, I'm listening to BTS while filming this video. Honestly, I was not planning on filming this particular series of spreads, but I just wanted to share something that I've been discovering lately in terms of my life, and I thought I would journal it and share it with you guys. So I actually have no plans of figuring out what the layout would look like. So usually when I journal, it's usually on the fly. So I'm just gonna be following some of the prompts from my 20 prompts for 2020, aka 2020 Creative Journaling Challenge. If you want to know the prompts, click on the link down below. I will provide all the information, and make sure to join our Facebook group to get updates and creative ideas which you can use for your spreads. So I'm just gonna cut out some of the photos I printed. The sticker paper I'm using right now is actually a different paper. I got this when I was in Malaysia. Honestly, it's been kind of hard to peel it off, but otherwise the print is pretty good. I printed some books that I've been reading and also some photos from my very adventurous and activity-filled week, I would say. So this past week has been quite an experience. I first off told myself that I had to work out 5 times a week, which I have successfully done, but also I'm very tired. I sleep at 11 or 10:30 now every night because my energy just cannot take it anymore, and as someone who sleeps regularly at midnight, I think it's a good improvement. And I've also been reading a lot of books to sort of get myself out of doing creative things regularly. Sometimes I forget this is actually my job, and the thing about it is I tend to overwork, and with that I tend to get burnt out easily, and I really don't want to get burnt out because for the long haul I am still staying here. So my goal lately has really been discovering what else I could do with my free time and not just invest myself in drawing and painting regularly. So I'm just setting up this page. Honestly, I was also going to plan on just doing the spread previously, which I printed the photos for, but since I have not updated my goals for the month, which you will see later on in my astrology, I thought I'd share it with you guys. I like starting the month because it feels like there are so many new things that I can do. Also, new stationery to pull out, actually, and to reuse some of the old ones. These stickers I'm using are from Chi Chi. She's one of my good friends, and she's actually one of Kylo's good friends, and I love her stickers. I'm so glad her shop is now up. I will link it down below. I think it's Little Miss Paintbrush or Whimsy Cute, but you can follow them on Instagram to see updates on their sticker designs. And I love her designs. They're very kawaii, but also the colors she uses are very good. So we're gonna start off with some of the goals for this month. I actually like setting a few reachable goals for the month, especially because this is a time where I feel like it's the last month of the first quarter. So then I have more time to really figure out what else I have to accomplish for this quarter. And I really just want to spend more time than usual doing things that are not related to my job, especially now that I have a studio and my hours, I try to fix them like office hours. Second is to be able to read books that I am generally interested in because I have a lot of things that I find very fascinating, like decision science, behavioral science. I think I should have been a psychologist. I like getting into the minds of people. And apart from that, of course, do the 5 times workout per week, which I have no idea how feasible it is in the long run, but so far I am surviving, but I just feel really, really tired on a regular basis. So I also looked up for my Capricorn horoscope for March. It was hard to actually filter this out because some of them are in weeks, some are in days. The ones for the month are quite long, and I didn't really want to focus on things like dating or love for now. So I chose something, a sentence or a paragraph that is strictly related to business, which is very interesting because now you will see that it's all about, this transit having me to really invest in my passion projects and be able to explore different opportunities that I can make something out of what I love. And that's a very good insight, I would say, based on my horoscope for the month. And apart from that, I think in terms of horoscope, I'm also not very wary. I just like looking at memes because I am that person. I look at CoStar a lot on Instagram, and earlier today I looked at this post. It's about like what people or what the signs are insecure about, and wow, mine really hit home because it says like has already published 3 books at 24 and still feels like she's not done enough. And that was me at 24, so go figure. Now I'm having more coffee. I'm filming this early in the day, so I figured coffee is always the answer. And I'm also very glad that I am finishing my stash of black coffee here. But I love black coffee anyway. So we're moving to the next page. This is just, general work updates, what I've been up to. So what I've been up to lately is I'm actually working on my 6th book? 7? I forgot. Generally, I think it's my 6th book. Anyway, so I'm working on an updated version of my first ever book, which is the ABCs of Hand Lettering. It's been quite a ride. It's been chill for the first week. I'm excited to show you the process behind it because I also filmed a how I write my books video, which is about time because I have written so many books and I have not filmed any process videos. Also because I feel like it's a very, I just draw and do stuff, but there's a lot of backstory behind it. So I'm very excited to work on that video and share it to you guys. So yeah, just some random updates. I'm working also on another tarot book. So I'm doing 2 books this year, and it's very interesting because it's going to be self-published. So moving on to more books, I am starting to continue reading Don't Sweat the Small Stuff Omnibus. It's a book that my cousin gave me last year when I was really mentally challenged with my anxiety, and I think it has really helped me see things at a better perspective. I recently picked it up again because the past 2 weeks have been really shitty and I didn't know how to address how I felt, but I started to look at the world in a really negative way. And I don't want to have this mindset and this disposition in the months to come and generally in my life. So I figured it was time that I read this regularly and see how I can benefit from that. And I'm also reading this book called Drive by Daniel Pink. It's about how people are motivated and the science behind these facts, because I realized also that it's quite hard to feel motivated if you don't know what reward you get. So that's very interesting. Next, let's move on to the main spread, which is supposedly what I was supposed to film. I just wanted to share that I have been taking up pottery classes. I don't know if I've ever mentioned it, but I have. It's been something that I've wanted to try for the past 2 years, and I finally did it this February. And every Monday and Tuesday, I go to the pottery studio, which is called Tahanan Pottery. Tahanan means house or home in Filipino, and it's near Tomas Morato, Timog area, and it's quite accessible from where I am. So every Monday and Tuesday in the morning, I go to class, and so far we've been making a lot of progress, making mugs, bowls, and plates. And this week is actually the last week, so I'm spending a whole day there. And then the next week will be glazing, and after that everything will be for firing, and I'm gonna be receiving my creations, I guess, in a month. It takes a while, but yeah, it's been very humbling, I would say. It's quite a different process, and I finally found something that I feel like is not my strong suit, and I don't blame myself, but it's really a lot of controlling and learning how to go with the clay, and centering it properly is such a hard task, I would say. And it's quite interesting because I would never think that I would actually get into pottery, but I like how it works as a process. Will I do it as a job? Of course not, but I would love to make my own set of ceramic dishes and porcelain dishes. That's why I also joined, because I want to have my own cup, my own coffee cup that I'm gonna use, that I made, and I want to give some of them to my friends as well. So yeah, it's been quite an amazing experience, I would say. It's also very much a good exercise in terms of making myself more aware of the present, because when you center the clay, that's where it starts, and it takes a while for it to get centered. But once you get past that stage, the whole process of opening the clay and lifting the clay becomes easier. But also, I feel it's also very stimulating, because you feel it's a sense of touch and sight, and you also smell the clay. So anyway, after that, the whole weight is also very interesting because you see how the clay transformed from this like gray blob to sort of like more sandy color, and then eventually when you fire it's gonna be like white, I think, or off-white or ivory. And I am looking forward to seeing it fired and also figuring out what glazes I'm gonna put with them. And I think as someone who has made them, I do know which ones I made, and that's such an interesting thing. The second thing that I did last week was I finally went wall climbing, and I don't actually know why I did, but my cousin and good friend Val, who's also an artist, she took me to wall climbing. She's been climbing in Climb Central for quite a while now, and she recently got back to climbing. And I've been curious about it. I didn't know it had like any effects on mental health, but since I am diagnosed with anxiety, I thought, why not try it out? And she said it's been really good for mental health things, which I did try, but honestly did not expect it. Like literally, the girl was just showing me the techniques on like, okay, this is the belay, this is the auto belay, blah, 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 and she's like, okay, you can go climb now. And I was like, what? I was totally unprepared, but I can't believe how negative I was. When I was going up, I was just telling myself the whole time, like, you suck, you're so heavy, you can't do this, you're not strong enough. And it was like anxiety was hitting me right in the face. And as Val captioned it on her Instagram story, she said, I physically battled my anxiety, and it's such a humbling feeling to know that you're actually working on something like this. So I did some research when I got home, and apparently wall climbing has a big significant help for people with anxiety and depression because it helps them physicalize and actualize what they're going through. And personally, I am afraid of heights, but apart from the fear of heights, I was more afraid of falling. And the whole concept of me falling and just trusting the belay was crazy. Like, I would stand there for like 5 minutes and say, I won't go down. But of course, part of me is like, of course I have to go down because I have to go down. I can't stay up there forever. And I think it also is tackling a lot with my issues with overthinking a lot, because here you don't overthink, you just have to figure out proper strategies on where to go next. And you know, in relation to life in general, I feel like it's such a, you know, it's so stimulating, and it's so, I don't know, it hit me so hard. It hit so close to home knowing that I have to be able to figure out as I go. And you don't really know what the rocks, like which rocks end up there. And honestly, the others are so tiny, and I feel like, you know, I'm not light enough, so I don't know how I could like latch onto the wall, which sometimes I do. But yeah, I think I climbed like three routes, and so far it has been great. But my arms really hurt the next day, and my hands. So I'm looking forward to go again though, because I'm really very persistent about it. I think it's also such a great exercise because I'm not used to lifting myself up. It's a very body reliant exercise in such a way that you have to use your whole body to get there. And apart from the body and the physical aspect, it's really the mental and emotional aspect that really drove me to really find interest in it, because you have to be in this mindset where you say that you have to go forward, you have to go up, you have to take this path, that path. And if your mind doesn't cooperate with your body, it just won't work. I felt that so many times when I was up, way up, and I kept telling myself like, come on, you kind of have to move, because if you don't move, what does that make you? And I think the reward is like being able to know that you've accomplished something without looking for something in return, but more of like, in my case, facing my anxiety. And it's such a it still haunts me I don't know if haunt is the right word, but I still think about it up to this day. It's like I want to write an essay about it. I could probably like put it in a chapter of some book I could probably write in the future, but it's been so eye-opening. And I think I've always thought like my life would just be like, okay, just work, but it's nice to really voluntarily take steps in order to move forward and in order to advance, or maybe like level up in life a bit more. Like now I'm proud to say I can do pottery, I can climb a wall, and that's just one of the few things that I am interested to try in. So if you are having the same kind of feeling, it's always nice to try new things and face things that you wouldn't expect yourself to be in. I would never expect myself to be in these situations, but I think part of me has really been desperate to find that change or to like entertain new things in my life. So I'm really glad that has been working out well so far this year. So yay me, I guess. So that is it for my two spreads. So here is a final look at the first spread and the second spread. Thank you so much for watching this video. This has been Abby, and make sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos on journaling. Bye!